Hello and welcome to another edition of the Knowledge and Power Show. Tonight we're talking about the gift of life, your life. Coming up next.
Sacrifice and really acknowledging and being mindful of the sacrifice he made.
Sorry. What can you say?
Hello,
What can you
hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, friends, family.
Countrymen.
My
Lend me
friends,
your
Right.
ear.
Romans, countrymen. Lend me your ears.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
How's it
Not a lot
going?
of man. What's going on with you?
Well, it's been a minute since we have sat in front of the screen with each other. So I'm
Yeah.
sure we got some catching up to do, as
Right.
well as getting off into our topic tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So we are entering one of the most greatest seasons of all time.
Oh yeah.
Holiday
On
season,
earth.
Christmas. Yeah. Yep. So we were talking backstage earlier. Jake, I think you were the one that mentioned it. You say usually this is the hardest time for people because
yeah.
of they think about loss of loved ones or life not being what it needs to be or what it should be or what they hoped it would be.
Right.
Well, tonight, hopefully, I see you, Jake. I just noticed that you got the Christmas tree decorated and everything in the background. Man, you one up us. Yeah.
Ah,
But
you're
tonight,
not up yet?
yeah, nah, no, it's not. Probably won't get up. But anyway, not that I'm a humbug Scrooge, just don't have the time, man.
Oh yeah.
But tonight, saying all that, we just kind of really want to look at and talk about the gift of life, and that each and one of our lives is a gift, and we all have our own interpretation of what a gift is. But
Mm-hmm.
from my interpretation, a gift is a great thing. So something that should be handled delicately with
It's a
care and
gift.
appreciation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tis a gift.
Hey.
Yeah. Yep.
And
I was
But
listening to
other
a
than
radio.
go ahead, Nick.
gifts
I
are
was, I was
free.
listening to a radio. I was listening to a radio broadcast last week. They were talking about the same thing
Oh, is that
about
right?
valuing the life that you have because life is so short, and taking time to prioritize yourself and take care of yourself, self-care, self-prioritizing, do things that make you happy,
Yeah.
um and just live your life, especially in your latter years,
Right.
and enjoy it.
Enjoy
you
it.
know
Yeah. Things that make you happy. Sometimes that could be a tough call for some people because they don't know what
hmm
Yeah.
makes them happy because sometimes the hustle and bustle of their life kind of dictates who they are,
right,
gives them their
Yeah.
identity.
that's a good point.
Right.
Yeah.
And it also makes you want to treat your loved ones like it's your last day with them.
mm.
Even the ones you don't be bothered with. Just joking. Ha ha ha
Ha ha ha ha
ha.
ha 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 ha. Yeah,
Just
even
joking.
those
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because this week we lost a young man here in Muskegon with a very very promising career. He was drafted for U of M, very top star player, and Michi is his name. And right as he was about to go and start his career in college, he discovered he had cancer in his knee.
And his
Mm.
knee.
Yeah, in his
Never heard of
knee,
that.
he had a mass on his knee, and it
Mm.
ended up becoming the size of a cabbage, a small cabbage, they said. And
Damn.
so, long story short, he had the leg amputated. He had a little baby, a little child, and uh, his
Mm.
life. But U of M, they did something really great for him. They
Wow.
took him and celebrated him and allowed him to do a touchdown in his wheelchair
Oh, really?
across the
Wow.
goal line. Yeah, and so that was great for him. And he just died like a couple of days ago, and we just want to honor him and his mother. She was so, disheartened, but he still was smiling and happy and, going, even though she said he was in excruciating pain, but he smiled and very good guy. So
Mm.
Wow,
our
dude.
city is kind of mourning right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Sorry, I'm
but
sad to hear that.
right, that's why
Wow.
To hear that.
we need to celebrate life, like you said, it's a gift.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
Every
Wow.
moment, every minute, every
Yeah.
second. Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
before we jump off, then Jake, that's that's the story right there.
Yeah.
We'll be praying for his family. But before we really jump off into our subject matter and just really get going, we don't want to forget to tell the people what Nate.
What do we want to tell the people? Hey, look, do us a favor. First of all, thank you for joining. If you would be so kind, please hit that thumbs up button. It's right down below the video, right there to the right of Jake's face and underneath. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button, which is just a few clicks over. Hit the share button. Let people know that we're on, what we're talking about. And most of all, make sure you comment and join the conversation. We want to hear from you. We love to hear from you.
We do.
Yep, for sure, for sure. So yeah, so that being said, what has been going on, fellas? Nate, what's going on in your world?
Oh,
Since we
tons,
last
man,
talked, man,
tons.
we have been through Thanksgiving,
Yeah, I was Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving break. We have not been back
Hmm.
since then to talk about anything that's happened. Man, so we've been on a hiatus for a second. And
Yeah,
I think
man.
we are, from my remembrance, correct me if I'm wrong, fellas. I think we're doing this show and one more show, and we're just gonna take a break so that we can
Right.
just kind of,
For 2022. Yep.
refresh, relax. As Whitney Gilbert used to say, relax, relate, release.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been, interesting.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, family drama is a real thing. I won't get into it on the show.
Mhm.
Uh,
Family drama.
and it's a
Got
real
a
thing.
song about it, like the hand go.
But you got to look past that, man, and move forward.
Yeah.
And so we came back to Michigan
Yeah.
we came back to North Carolina from Michigan a little bit early
Okay.
after Thanksgiving, and just jump back into the day to day.
Mhm.
Oh,
Today we had a chance.
you spent your Thanksgiving in Michigan?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I didn't know that.
yeah,
See, because he is missing the place. That's why. But anyway, go ahead.
yeah. So Cara, our second daughter is due to give
Yeah,
birth this week.
that's
So we
right.
got a new grandbaby coming into the world.
Life.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Congratulations.
She's scheduled to have the baby on Wednesday the 14th. So y'all keep her in prayer.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And what else? Yeah, that's about it, man. Just trying to we're actively, Michelle and I are actively trying to uh do just what we talked about, man. Just live life with purpose
Mm-hmm.
and be in a good place and appreciate the time we have left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's good.
That's pretty good, man.
Hmm.
Honestly speaking, and this is just something I just learned for myself. Drama is not a bad thing. And here's why I say that. Because
Interesting.
number one, it doesn't catch God God by surprise.
No, does
That's
anything?
It
good.
doesn't.
It's true.
It doesn't. It catches us by surprise. And I don't know why we are so surprised about things when, as good friend of mine uses this term, people just be peopling.
Yeah. People going people, man. People going
Yeah.
people.
They do.
So we really shouldn't be caught off guard by that. And that's whether it's outside the family or within the family. But the
Mhm.
thing to keep in mind is how we handle the drama.
Yeah.
Because we have to get to a point where I was listening to a phenomenal pastor today, and he said something to the point where we got to get past the moment
Hmm.
and look for the movement of God.
Mm,
Ooh,
So the
okay.
moment keeps us responding in our emotions and our immaturity.
Yeah.
He said, but if we look in the midst of the drama for the movement of God,
Yeah.
then we will understand, number one, why we're prepared to handle this. And the
Yeah.
most important thing to keep in mind too is some of us make the mistake that we still want to respond the way we would have responded 20 years ago. So however old you were 20 years ago, you were a lot less mature than what you should be now. And we still want to keep that same rascal, that same character. And we feel like we got to give that type of bravado and be like, hey, don't step to me like that, because I
mm,
put you down. No,
Yeah.
we got to look at things a lot different, man, because we've been living life, and life should teach us a lesson.
Yeah.
mm.
So, and how we respond differently to drama. So,
You remember the scene in Jungle Fever when they had the dinner and the mother was like, "You knew she was coming."
I forgot that scene. I gotta watch it again.
Well, the Reverend Doctor went off anyway, even though
Mm,
yeah,
he didn't know he knew she was coming. And that's how we
yeah,
look at drama. Expect the unexpected in life, but even though you may not be ready when it comes, but something's coming, but it's coming with a plan of God as well.
mm,
So
yeah. It's a purpose behind it. I think that purpose really, everything is playing out the way it plays out so that we can see what's in us.
mm.
Bam. That's a nugget right there.
That's a nugget right there.
Yeah.
We'll use that
So
as a
yeah.
nugget.
Yeah. So Jake, what's going on in your world, man, since the break?
oh man, Thanksgiving was at our house and it was a wonderful time. Bunch of family over. Uh
No drama, no drama?
not
I don't
without
want to I don't want to hear your story then, Jake. It's too much.
not without a little not without a little
His was too
drama
easy
though.
going.
At the
I'm just
very
joking.
last minute before the last people to leave, there was a little drama.
Mm,
But not much, nothing to write home about. but but I mean, you know how it goes, family and friends. But thankfully, it was nothing major.
Yeah.
After that, our new grandbaby is planning to come and spend Christmas. He and his mom coming to spend Christmas with us from Florida. So,
And how old is the grandbaby?
he would be 9 months now, I think.
Oh,
oh
okay.
wow.
Here come the drama right there. He about to run the house.
Mm,
About to
Yeah, I'm
run the
sure.
house. Yep.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm
That's a good
That'd be
sure.
baby.
nice though. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You were saying that she ain't never seen no snow.
No, she's never been, I guess, north enough to see snow.
Wow. Well,
And we don't have
let's
any
pray that
snow.
Betsy gets like 7 inches,
No.
and so she'll get to see it all.
And
7 to
melt
12
as soon as
inches.
she leaves, I hope. Yeah.
Let's correct it. Let's pray that Muskegon gets like 7 inches.
Don't
Let's
do
be
7 to
it to
12
specific in
inches.
detail.
Yes.
Yep.
Bypass Detroit, Lord. Bypass Lansing, God.
Yes.
It
Yep.
just hit
It's
Muskegon,
funny
Lord.
when people move out of state, their city just becomes the state.
Right.
Exactly. You noticed that. You noticed
Lump all y'all together.
that. Yeah.
It's y'all
That's
now.
funny.
It's just y'all. It's not you. It's
That's
y'all.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are chiming in, good evening.
Well, good evening,
Saying
everybody.
hello.
Good
Thanks for
evening.
What's
joining.
going on?
Yeah.
Yep. So just good evening to everybody that's joining on tonight. So
Can I say something real quick?
yeah, go for it, bro.
I just want everybody that is listening and watching, make sure you hit those that like button, let the likes get up there. And if you are
Yeah.
listening while we're having our conversation, I really want you all to focus in, be introspective tonight. Think about your life as a gift, and how do you plan on using that gift, making the most of it? Just think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe drop a thought or two in the comments.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. So I'll just say I'll just kind of merge my time away from the podcast, along with just interjecting my thoughts on the gift of life. Um, Man, so much took off and happened during the Thanksgiving break. I'm
Yeah.
not going to necessarily say it was a bad thing, but I'll just say medically, a lot of people, a few people that I love tremendously,
Mm.
it went through a lot.
Mm.
And I had to step back and, naturally, you don't want to see anybody that you care about go through anything
Right.
where they have to be only for doctor's care or whatever, what have you. But it really kind of made me slow down and kind of look at the bigger picture for myself.
Okay.
And, one thing I will say, it's no secret that all of us, the three of us, are followers of Christ.
Yeah.
So, and I sometimes I make the statement, and it's not apologizing or it's not
We need a
apologizing. I'll say, I know all of our listeners are not followers, but I started thinking about the bigger picture. They may not be, but the platform that we have,
yeah.
I really want to start putting it to use um, for God's glory.
We need an applause sound right there.
Yeah, yeah. Because my thing is, I always ask the Lord, don't let me miss you in the moment. When you're speaking, when something is happening, when things are going crazy in my world. And one of the things
Hmm.
that hit me was the fact that I need to do a better job at looking at my life as a gift that He's given me. And the biggest check that I got over this holiday break is that I love my job. I really do. Not a lot of people can say that, but the same token, we can love something too much.
Hmm.
And the Holy Spirit just checked me and said, you're more committed to a specific person at the job, my boss,
Hmm.
than you are to God.
Mm.
And that was a moment for real. And
Hmm.
I had to sit
Right.
back and look at that because I never wanted to disappoint the person because they're a good person, and they have my
Right. Right.
back. But the bigger picture is they did not give me life. And I'm
Right.
very fortunate that person's just been placed in that position for the season that we have together.
Right.
But for me not to be able to look at, I'm disappointing God by running and running and ripping and running for everybody and not having time to really sit down and get before God like
Hmm.
I have done before. I mean, there's no excuse.
You're
We're
right.
quick to say season. It's just a busy season. No, that's no excuse. Um, so yeah, I need to do a lot better job. I have forsaken because of my job, wanting to be there and not disappoint people and just wanting to go and be successful. And I've forsaken my health,
Right.
not taking days off that I should have taken off, not hitting doctor's appointments that I should have hit. And all of that came to me in this Thanksgiving break. I began to look at the bigger picture and I was like, I can't continue to go on
Yeah.
taking for granted the life that God has given me. And, we only have one time to live this life on this side.
Bro.
So yeah, so that's my eye-opening moment that things would be done a lot different.
Mm.
There's
A lot,
something
lot
to that,
different.
man, because
Say that again.
there's something to that. You are one of many people that I know that that do that. I mean, it's like they run and run and run for everybody else and do for everybody else, and it's like they can't help themselves. They can't stop it. They can't say no, and it's like it's to their own detriment, really, because they're not
Yeah,
taking the time to take care of self.
yeah.
And I have a cousin who just had one of three strokes
Wow.
Wow.
after and a heart attack. Just,
Dang.
but I mean, this is in time span, not
Okay.
all together, but it's from the same results. And then not realizing that stress that comes with stress. You can't take care of everybody else and never have the time for your own self care.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I can count at least 3 friends that are doing that. And you try to tell them, no, you can't do it. Life is going to go on for them when you're done, and when they roll you and lay you out front of the
That's
church,
true. That's true.
their
Your
life is
life
still
gonna
going to be
continue.
going.
Mhm.
Yeah, and honestly, since you said that, Jake, it actually has hit me. That's why I said
Yeah.
platform, us using this platform for
Hmm.
a greater purpose than just to talk about. And I think the stuff we talk about is important, but
Right.
this life is going to pass, and the stories that we talk about,
Right.
though it's important, and we can tie and weave it into it being something spiritual, but when the rubber meets the road, we got to be flat out honest and just kind of declare that this life don't mean nothing unless you really have Jesus.
You're
Simple
right.
as that. And one of my epiphanies is the fact that, and I think, Nate, I shared this with you today. Earlier, I was rolling through the city, was talking, and I said it just makes it a lot easier when I decide to do it God's way and just me get out the way and stop
Mhm.
trying to handle it the way Ray would have handled it.
Yeah.
It just makes it just takes away the stress
Yeah.
and the
Stress.
extra pressure. And I may look like sometimes I may look like I took down, or that's the punk way to handle it. No, it's not. Because I
Hmm.
mean,
Hmm.
I just don't have. I'm fortunate, to be at this state of life where I've had no major illnesses,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, and I say the person that has it is not fortunate, but like I said, it's just we gotta wake up. And I just see Michelle dropped a comment in about wisdom. Yeah, when we get some wisdom, what are we going to do with that wisdom? And the
Right,
Mm.
fear
man.
of God is the beginning of wisdom. So
Mm.
Because I think God gives certain people that kind of heart where they do go overboard doing for other. Maybe it's a servant heart or whatever.
yep,
But like Michelle said, wisdom comes with that. You
Yeah.
yeah.
can't just do it to death or to a fault.
Right. Right.
Ooh.
'Cause we gotta
Michelle,
take.
I think
Oh, go
I
ahead.
think we may use this as the wisdom nugget right there. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Bam.
Woo! That girl.
That
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 girl
We got it
wise.
early, don't we?
That
Is
girl
that
is
what
that
you
that
said?
wise.
that was good,
She is
man.
wise,
One
full of
who,
wisdom.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Mm.
So
Man,
true.
that was
You
powerful.
you running on
yep,
fumes, filling everybody else up.
Right.
yep, yeah. But
Pretty much.
but
Pretty
you
much.
but you
Pretty much. You just giving them gas.
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, exactly. But you think that you're doing,
Hmm. The
great.
work of the Lord.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's just because you just care about people and you just want to do what you do. So that being said, that's my big takeaway from the gift of life. We would never, if you guys were to give me a gift, for me to abuse it,
Right.
would probably make you say, I'm never gonna gift him again because I see how
Exactly.
he handles that, or if I
Yeah.
keep
Hmm.
it sitting in the box and I never do anything with it.
Never do anything with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and we
Right.
don't sit down and look at our life like that.
Right.
And
True.
I
and,
think
and a
that's.
big
I think
thing.
that's the big
Go ahead.
takeaway, man. The big takeaway
Yeah.
from this conversation. Well, I shouldn't call it a takeaway, but the overarching theme I think is, um, a gift is given for a purpose. Usually, gifts are given to enhance the life or the experience of the person the gift is given to.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
sometimes gifts are given as and they can become tools to enhance other people's lives. So we have to look at our life not only as a gift to ourselves, but how is the gift that we've been given of life going to enhance or better the lives of those around us as well.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
that dips rather into purpose, destiny, all that kind of stuff, bigger conversations. But
Yeah.
I just think that's recognizing that the time we have is a gift, the life we have is a gift,
Yeah.
and the big part is now figuring out how to tap into the benefits that gift has for us. What are we going to get out of the deal if we start to utilize our gifts as we are supposed to?
Yeah.
Sometimes people will say with that, Nate, that they're trying to model something. And if they're modeling something, then
Hmm.
that's them showing people the gift.
Explain what you
or
mean by that,
Yeah,
brother.
model
when
by model.
when you said how can what are we got to think about what are we really giving people, how they benefiting from what we're giving them.
Yeah.
And we think if I just keep giving my all, just keep pushing, just keep moving, just keep running, just keep running through that brick wall, just showing dedication and hard work, I'm modeling something that's going to leave an impression. I gotta step away for a second as I gotta plug up my laptop. So y'all go ahead on.
Okay.
Well, Nate,
Yeah.
part of
Go ahead,
what
brother.
you said, what you were saying, is part of the greatest commandment, to love your neighbor as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the kid, you gotta love yourself first to have that love for your neighbor.
Exactly. You gotta love yourself
Otherwise,
first. It all
right,
starts with you.
right,
Yep. It all starts and ends with you, really.
right.
What's that magnificent marriages? But it's a good theme. It's a good topic because, like I said earlier, you really have to be introspective and kind of figure out. I think the big question is the why. And when I say why, I mean
hmm
we've been given this gift of life. Why? For what
Yeah,
reason? To do what with it?
yes.
We
And
haven't
that's what
been.
everybody should know. What's your
Yeah.
purpose? You
Yeah.
know, even for
It's not to do the 9 to 5 every day and wake up one day and you've been spent 30, 40 years of your life just
yeah,
going to work and you
Yep.
and you didn't do anything else. You know,
exactly.
that's abusing the gift. That's not why
It
you were given this
is.
life.
Yeah.
So we need
But
to
yeah.
and Ray said it earlier, YOLO, you only live once. So
Yeah.
you gotta make the most of the time that you have. And I said something about being happy earlier.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes the things that make people happy aren't
And
always the best things. Some things people get happy off some terrible stuff.
right.
So I don't know how to have that conversation about what makes one person happy versus another. But
hmm
you want to have a fulfilling life. You want to feel like your life has purpose. You want to feel like life has meaning. You
You
want to feel
do.
like you're living it to the fullest, doing
Yeah.
everything you can to extract everything from this life and enjoy it because
Mhm.
that's what God has given us all this stuff for, to enjoy it.
Right.
So we got to find balance. We got to find a way to, become that person and still take care of our responsibilities.
And can
Yeah.
I
So
say this?
go for it, Jake.
Because you don't want, I know of persons, and I've been to a funeral where every person struggled to say something good about the deceased.
Mm.
Really?
And yeah, and you don't want your life to
Oh
be
my
that,
God. No, no,
where
no, no.
nobody can say anything good about you or
Jake,
your life.
y'all better not struggle at my home going, man. I'm gonna get up.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go off on y'all. Then I'm gonna lay back down.
Right. It shouldn't be. But of
Wow.
course, we wouldn't
Man,
have
that's
that problem.
crazy. No, we wouldn't have that problem in this group, I don't think.
Right.
Wow.
But it
That's
happens though.
yeah, it does. It does.
Hmm.
I have seen that. I have. It's got to be
Mhm.
uncomfortable for the family. But so the thing is, because we did do a show, so it's kind of like a flashback memory now.
Mhm.
We talked about the mass exit, people were the Great Resignation and the
Leaving the
Gen
jobs.
Zers.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it seems like the big Achilles heel that keeps us in this rat race of neglecting the
Mhm.
important things of life and purpose of life is that job factor, man. Having to punch in and punch out. And I know, and I made the statement earlier. Honestly, I began to reflect so much about how much my life was just running and how
Mhm.
much I had been given to my job and my personal business that I have on the side. That
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you know what? I just want to go and get me a celery truck and just sell celery on the side of the road. Something just to simplify my life and
Make sure that mess is fresh, man.
and
Ain't
sell
nothing like
it.
You
ain't
said
nothing like
make
some
sure it's
soggy
fresh.
celery. Yeah, I don't like no soggy celery, bro.
Hey, you purchase it,
Crispy.
you touch it, you buy it. You touch it, you buy it. So, but yeah, it got to
Mhm.
that point because I was beginning to look at. I don't see any other way around the demand
Mm.
of work.
Yeah, in a time when nobody wants to work.
Well, yeah, work
Right.
is essential, man. You gotta provide for yourself. You gotta survive in this world.
You
But
do, but when they're
kudos, like you said, that conversation. Kudos to those people who have found a way to do it and still enjoy their lives.
yeah,
Right.
I need to get with the Gen Zers, man.
Yeah,
Figure out.
we need to take some lessons from those folks that are doing that.
I know.
My
Because
mom is
we, in
90.
our generation, just be honest, man, we were groomed. They probably still doing it now. We were
Yeah.
groomed from the time we went to preschool, kindergarten, to become
Yeah.
workers.
Yeah. Work.
Well,
That was the purpose of our education, to
well,
get
my
out of high
mom,
school or college and become a worker, a drone until you die.
right, a drone until you die. Well, my mom is
Right.
91, so I need to let her know. Newsflash: we ain't groomed to be workers like that no more. So I'm moving back with you, and I
Right.
need an allowance.
Yeah.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Wow, but yeah, yeah. So it's we like I got a situation at work now where I just had 4 people just walk away, man. They will stay with me to the end of the year, but that's
Mhm.
4 spots, and I'm like, wow.
Ooh.
But,
And what are they going to do
one
without
of them
giving
has
out their business?
one of them has an amazing opportunity in a whole nother state that
Okay.
I
Yeah.
understand their reason, but
Hmm.
the other 3, yeah, it's just
Mhm.
we're in the season of grind right now, and
Mhm.
I get it. Oh, let me ask you this, and this is all tied to the gift conversation also.
Hmm.
Help me understand this statement. When work is no longer, see, when work is no longer fun,
Mhm.
I forgot how they put it.
Mhm.
But it's something to the fact when work is not fun no more, you don't want to do it.
I know where you're going. Yeah.
I mean, help me understand
It's
that.
what I mean. Come on, man. Come on.
It's human nature.
It's human nature, but work is never designed to be fun. But you don't complain about other types of work. Work is work
Mhm.
across the board. It take work for you to stand up out of a chair every day.
Yeah.
You ain't complaining
Ooh,
about that. You putting in work
wow.
to walk up and down the street. You putting in
Yeah.
work to breathe. You putting in work all the time in other areas. It's all work. And
Yeah.
sometimes work is not don't feel good. Put time in the gym. You come away the
Yep.
mug hurting. You in pain for days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the work is work. Sometimes it's not gonna be fun, but the benefits of work
Exactly.
is what you focus on. What are the
Yeah.
benefits? What's the outcome that you're getting? And of
Oh,
Mhm.
course, you looking at your mental state and your emotional state, and yeah, you don't want
Yeah.
to put with no crap. But at the same time, every job has its
Oh yeah.
moments. Every job. I don't care if you're doing your dream job. You're gonna have a moment where you're like, man,
Right.
this
I'm
yeah.
mug.
I'm
You know what I
experiencing
mean?
that now, man. With
Yeah.
a band I'm a part of. When it started out, everybody was having fun, jamming out, and all that, and singing, and then when it became serious, and there was a demand on the group, it became work.
Hmm.
Now, that the attitude is different.
Yeah,
It's like,
everything
oh
can't be
Wow.
fun. Everything's
yeah.
not always going to be fun. You got to learn. Maturity would dictate that you have to learn how to navigate through those waters when it's not fun, when it's not easy.
That's
Hmm.
true. That's
Especially
true.
if there's a goal.
Hmm.
Yeah. I had and that's a good comment. Senator says the new generation will walk out on the job in a
In a
second.
sec.
They will. But I just gave a grand speech, pretty much about what you just said, Nate. How we need to have goals, set up a purpose.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And I made the statement that if you are looking for this company to define your purpose or set your expectations, then you are going to sadly be disappointed.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um,
It's
because
true.
we got to set them for ourselves.
Yeah.
But that's that thing, just find that balance, man. That's all. Find that balance and
Yeah.
discovering that your life is a gift. But the
Hmm.
whole thing, what it boils down to, I was talking to another coworker, and we were just chatting it up. He's in our age group, and he was like, Ray, the bottom line is, he said, what makes life a little bit easier to figure
Hmm.
out or to handle is when you got God in it.
Mm.
Right.
And that's that factor there where you have so many people who are just, I'm just not there, or they have their reasons
Yeah.
for not following the gospel
Hmm.
for whatever reason. And
Yeah.
okay, that's that. But the one thing I will say that can be controversial but it's just the truth, is that the Word of God is for real, and it is not outdated, and it does not need to be updated,
Right.
and it is what
Modernized.
it is. Or if because you got a lot of people say that it's antiquated, and don't nobody
Mhm.
live like that no more.
Oh
But
man.
I'm just gonna say, then we might as well just rip out the scripture that says that heaven and earth pass away, but the word
Yeah.
it's gonna be there.
It's
Mhm.
staying.
It's gonna be there. So we just gotta definitely make sure that we apply it in its proper context.
Hmm.
But a lot of people don't want to do that because they're so afraid of what is going to take away from
From there.
their
Mhm.
chosen life to live.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
true.
I just I don't mean to go there.
Oh, that's it.
It's the
Yeah.
truth though.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's part of it. I
Yeah.
hear so many people now maneuvering the Bible, the scriptures to fit what they want it to be, how they're living, rather than taking it literally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. There was and I was gonna put this on here, but nah, I'm not gonna do it. There was and I don't proclaim to know a lot, everything about the word of God. So if somebody can chime in who has more insight on this, it'd be great. But there's this couple called the Nicholas, and they did a song called The Invitation. It's just kind of talking, and they're
oh yeah,
pretty much talking about how God's going to examine our life. We got to stand before the throne of God. So that kind of ties into what we're talking about, our life being a gift, and what are we doing with the gift that we have, and how's
hmm,
it benefiting other people. And yeah, and I just I thought about that too. And in the song, I don't know if this is true. That's why I said I don't know anything that's put in the Bible. But if someone knows if this is true or not, let me know. They say in the song where you know God will begin to show you your life of what it could have been.
Mm.
It's like I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
what it could
But
have been.
I need chapter and verse on that. Chapter and
yeah,
verse.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You need chapter and verse on that. But even if that were the case,
Hmm.
I'm like, wow, then that means I'm gonna leave some things on the table. I'm gonna miss some things, and
Mhm.
it's my fault if I miss some things because I have not tapped into and have not pushed into the presence of God like I needed to, so I can discover really who He's designed me to be, you to be.
Mm. Mhm.
And that's the only reason why we would miss something. Because you think about something like a test. There's no reason if you have been told, study this chapter
Yeah.
and we're gonna have an exam.
Right.
And then you sit down and say, I did not know fractions was gonna be on the test. Well, the word fractions not in the chapter that I told you to study. Yeah, it
Exactly.
was, but yeah, I told you to study it.
Mhm.
But I didn't expect for you to give out of 100 questions, I didn't expect for you to give 77 questions of fraction.
It was in the material you're supposed to study.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Right.
Yeah.
so
I
yeah,
don't know if
so
that, I don't know if that's in there, Ray, but
No.
you don't want to have to get a real plate of what your life could have been. It'd be probably very disappointing for a lot of people to see that.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
But so basically, the mindset is, from this day forward, let me live every day with intentionality and purpose. So I don't
yeah,
have to
Right.
have that highlight that what if highlight reel played for me.
Right.
Let's get your own personal highlight reel going and get as many pieces of content in there as you possibly can. And
right.
how do they say make the rest of your life the best of your life? I hear people say that all the time.
Make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah,
keep
it holds
progressing.
true. It holds true in this conversation because
It does.
like there's just so much to this conversation that can be extracted. We're talking about life being a gift as opposed to having gifts in your life. Like some
Yeah.
people are gifted with to do certain things, gifted with certain things.
Yeah.
I think that's a separate conversation, and aside from enjoying or not enjoying, but living your life, recognizing that not to take it for granted.
mm,
Nate,
Living
would
your
you
life.
say it applies to the the parable of the talents.
I was thinking about those talents while we were talking.
Yeah,
The
it's like
one guy who buried his talent,
right.
didn't do anything with it. I still got the same one you gave me, Lord.
Yeah,
And he was like, man,
right.
and the
So
rest of
that's
them
like
multiplied theirs. Some multiplied them greatly, some multiplied them a little bit, but they still duplicated or multiplied that talent.
right
And so, that's speaking to the gifts that are given. But at the same time, that could apply to your life as a gift.
as a gift of life.
Yeah,
So if you
as a gift
bury
of
your
life.
gift, you
Yeah,
dead already.
exactly.
Your
What
gift
what
of
what do you
life.
have to show? What is your return on that gift, that investment that God made?
Yeah,
What is your return? What do you have to show for it at the end of the day? What do you have to show for the many years you lived on this earth?
right.
Yeah.
With life
Is it is
being
it,
the
is it going
gift.
to be a gold watch and an attaboy from the job you retired from? Is that it?
Yeah.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
So
we gotta do some other things. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, and I guess you gotta, within a gift, as we begin to unpack things,
Hmm.
like I was sharing with you also, Nate, just discovering really who you are, what's in you, what's your value system, and
That's
where
it.
you want to go.
That's it.
And I was sharing with you that I was having a conversation with my
Mm-hmm.
niece not too long ago, and one of the things that I was telling her was that for me, forgiveness is everything.
Yep.
And I know we had a show on forgiveness.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
And I would never throw a person underneath the bus. If they struggle with it, but
Mm-hmm.
my prayer would be is that they can get through the struggle
Okay.
Right.
and eventually arrive at the other side.
Hmm.
Because I just cannot wrap my head around, um, you know, being a follower of Christ and
Mm-hmm.
being okay living my life, you know, angry, bitter,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
towards you or somebody else. I mean,
Yeah.
we may not golf together or do things that we did in the past together. But again, that's where that thing where God knows our heart, He examines our heart, and we can, we can give lip service all day, and I can fool you guys all day, but ultimately, God knows when I go behind closed doors how I feel about that person.
Right.
Hmm.
So to me, that's one of those important gifts in my world that's essential.
Forgive.
Yeah, it's essential, and I just think that anybody that struggles with that, and I know
Mm-hmm.
folks can justify, and in the flesh we can justify, in our emotions we can justify why we feel the way we feel about a person.
Yeah.
But it's just holding us back
Mhm.
greatly, health wise. And again, we talk
Hmm.
about if our life is a gift, I don't want to be the cause of breaking down my health because unforgiveness sets up
Yeah.
a lot of stress factors and
Yeah.
Yeah.
breaking down the body in a lot of different ways.
That's the
But
truth.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So So I don't know where I'm. So I'm just gonna say this without saying too much.
He's trying to work some stuff out, Jake.
I see.
He's working some
No,
stuff out. Go ahead, work it out, Ray. Work it out.
yeah, it's just, I'm just at that place of life where honestly
Work
I'm
it out,
getting
bro.
better, but I want
Hmm.
to trust God with everything. I'm not all the
That's a
way
scary
there
place
yet.
to be. Just be
It's a
honest
Oh,
with
scary
you.
place to be.
It
And
is.
I'll just say there was a situation in my life where, and we never know how God is going to work things out.
mm-mm.
So I'm talking about this has been a gift in the midst of all this craziness that has gone on in my world since Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
God, there was a season where I was robbed of the time of being with a particular person in my life.
Mm.
That was important,
Due to
and due to just a breakdown in communication, Jake, it just didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense at all.
okay.
Okay.
And publicly, I'm just going to say that to shame the devil, my prayer began to be after so many years. I'll just throw a number. It was like 11 years
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
of having no interaction. And my prayer just began. I just could not sit well with the fact that, Lord, this is not you. This
Right.
you can't approve of that. But I can't, I'm not always right, because there's some times
Mhm.
when I have, carried the alt or whatever. But then there was seasons where I would come out of that and I would just want to fix things, and you can't make a person. But
Right.
long story short, when you just really give it over to God,
Yeah.
He has a way of mending
That's it.
things.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
And my statement I'll say tonight is things are mended.
That's good.
That's good.
And
That's
it's
where you want to be.
because because we can get impatient with God,
Mhm.
but I never accepted the fact that abnormal was the new normal.
Yeah.
Not as a believer.
Okay.
Nope. And now I may not like how the mending came about,
Right.
Mhm.
but it doesn't matter. God is going to do it the way He's going to do it,
The way He's going to do it. As they say, He works in mysterious ways.
in
Yeah.
mysterious ways, man.
And sometimes, in those situations, Ray, you have to let God handle it. You
You
have to,
do.
because you alluded to it earlier. The work of your hands produces bitter fruit.
Come
The work of
on.
your hands doesn't always produce the things that you want it to produce. Sometimes you mess it up.
Mhm.
Sometimes you convolute it. Sometimes you make it worse by
Yeah.
trying to manipulate it and control it and fix it on your own.
Yeah.
You
Because when
do.
you're dealing with the wills of other people, that's
Mm.
not anything you can really control. You can only control you.
Come
And we
on.
have a hard time doing that enough. We have a hard enough time doing that as it is. But really, when it comes to relationships and trying to hope that they get better, sometimes you
Yeah.
have to let God just be God and do it His way, because otherwise
Yeah.
they probably won't ever get better.
Right.
That is so it, man. When you said you're learning to completely trust God,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a little scary.
It
And
is.
the one thing that we do, even as believers, we love to wrestle with flesh and blood. When it
Mm-hmm.
clearly says don't wrestle with flesh and blood.
It's kind of like right in that Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says,
We
right,
It
think
just
we
you
can
kind
get the resolve from wrestling with flesh and blood, and that is
right.
completely not the way it happens.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So you definitely, and when you're in it, you don't see the resolve when you're in the midst of it. That's the hardest thing to see, but it's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
coming. It
Yeah.
always comes. So
Yeah.
you just gotta trust God and go get through it, get past it, and watch, how He does it, and
Yeah.
how much better it's going to be because He did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good, fellas. Thanks for that. And
You're
I
welcome.
guess looking at the bigger picture of a gift, having, and we'll touch on that next week and really get into the festivities of Christmas. But Jesus being the perfect gift, the greatest gift ever given.
Yeah,
Um, I look at the big picture that in 2022, that when you're challenged, when you're, like I said, forgiveness is a big thing to me. So
yeah.
when you sit back and look at all these pockets and like leftover relationships that have gone sour or belly up, it's a challenge to still stand on the fact that forgiveness is a important factor, especially when you start hearing big noise in your ear, be it from the enemy, be it from myself, telling myself that is that, wow,
Mhm.
you're the common denominator in all of these
Mm.
mishaps.
Mm.
So why do you think it could be better? But to hold true to the fact that, okay, Lord, if I am the common denominator, then fix me. But all I know is that it's not right, because I'm just reminded of another. So I talked about that one there, because I don't want to share who the person is. I want, out of respect. But this other person, I'm gonna say, because he does listen to us sometime now, and I'm sure he don't mind me saying this, is that John, our buddy John. Me and John
Mhm.
hadn't talked in years,
Yeah,
and we have had a chance to rekindle our relationship.
yeah,
That's good.
I don't
yeah.
like how it came about, and with his mom passing.
Yeah.
But the simple fact that he would reach out to me and call me,
Right.
and we hadn't talked in 8 years.
Yeah.
Mm,
I mean, to me, that just goes to show that when you make yourself available and you allow your heart to be open to whatever God's going to do,
Yeah.
because I was never comfortable with the fact that things that went sour.
That's a good example.
And that's a great example. That's a great
Mhm.
example. So I'm beginning to look at the bigger picture that, yeah, God is faithful. And we
Mhm.
can work, and we can work. His word will work for us if
Yeah.
we really truly stand and believe on it.
right.
Because that relationship, I thought it was done, man. I thought it was done.
Nope.
And I don't know if he's listening live or not now, but like I said, I do know he listens. So John, if you hear that, go ahead and throw your comment up there. I know it'll
John.
probably be something funny or whatever addressed to me, but yeah,
Bro.
yeah. So yeah, good
Wow.
space, good season. It's been a good year, in spite
Mhm.
of it's been a
Yeah.
good year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
that
God
being
has a lot
said,
more. God has a lot more in store for us as we
Uh-huh.
start to appreciate this life that we have. And
Yeah.
sometimes, we're talking about this pain aspect of relationships and whatnot. Sometimes things have to go sour before they can get sweet again.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
yeah,
you got to find out, where you are and what you mean, and then you learn how to fix things. We're
yeah,
going through that right now, so I'm kind of
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
speaking to myself. But
yeah, because family fights. Yeah,
yeah, and
Mhm.
so
family, and we put it back together.
forgiveness is not an
Right.
issue, at least for some parties involved. It's just you know things have to get better and change, but at the same time you can't allow yourself to get stuck in that place, because that
Yeah.
becomes an identifier for you.
Come
You want
on.
to identify with what the Bible says. Think on these things. If there's any virtue, if any praise, think on these things that are
Sure.
lovely.
Yeah.
To assure
Mhm.
yourself peace in life, you got to think on those types of things. You can't focus on this
Mhm.
situation as it stands, because then you'll get stuck in that situation and you won't be
Yeah.
able to move past it. You have to, like we said earlier, just give it up
Yeah.
Yeah.
and live your life,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
and
That's
let
that's
God
true.
bring it back around. When He brings it
He
back
will do it
around,
too.
He'll do it the way only He can do it, and it'll be the
Yeah.
right way.
The right way.
We can't get stuck
Yep.
and stop moving, become debilitated and immobilized because of these things going on in our lives, these breakdowns in relationships and whatnot. We've got to continue to enjoy, live, and be on purpose and be an intentional person.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Hmm.
true. That's true. So we are winding down.
Oh man,
Hours
sure are.
hours is shot by. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to close anything out about. Um, I'm sorry for running my mouth if I talk too much about the gift. A gift.
No, it's all good, man.
No, man, you
Yeah.
did.
It was a spirited conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Nate mentioned a gift earlier, and as soon as he said it, I heard him singing it, the song, "A Gift Freely Given." You know that, Nate?
Oh
A
yeah.
gift freely given.
Yeah.
That song. To man is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
voice to sing. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. It popped
And
right in my
some
head.
do so well. So
Right.
some do so well. What about the other ones that don't do so well? That's not a gift
Mm.
then.
No, no, that's
Uh,
they just trying.
they're just
Now,
trying.
they just try. Now y'all know y'all done heard and y'all still done heard and got some folks up in the church that would get up there and grab that mic and say, "I just feel it,
Mm, mm,
and
mm,
I'm about to share my talent and my
mm, mm, mm,
gift."
You're
mm,
right.
mm, mm. Some
And
mugs need
y'all
to
don't.
give the silence.
Right.
Oh my
They
goodness,
need to give to sitting down somewhere.
that's
That's
wrong.
your gift. Sit down.
All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
but
Man.
yeah. But one thing I would like to close out on, and this is it's a little bit moving away from the gift subject, more so talking about the drama that we open with about families sometimes.
Hmm.
I'll kind of address one thing that's in the news as we get ready to close out. So,
Okay.
and if one of you brothers got the wisdom nugget, you can get that ready. Um, or we can just use Michelle's if y'all
We
don't
use,
have
we
one.
use that
So,
wisdom right there. Right? That
Yeah,
was pretty sound wisdom.
we'll
Can't
reiterate
pour,
that.
can't pour from empty cup.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Is that one thing, and I'm not gonna say it's just a black thing, but we've heard it said that black people do not like to air their dirty laundry.
That's true.
They like to keep it in house.
Right.
I don't care how much is going on. Uh, Papa Sunshine may be drinking and sneaking out, tipping, cheating in the next room, but don't you go around neighborhood talking about it.
Right.
Right.
You keep it quiet because we're a
Right.
family. We're a tight knit family, but we just fight in the dark at home amongst ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, I remember there was a time when Bill Cosby was going around doing this little tour, just kind of airing the dirty laundry in the black community about how we pull up our pants, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yep, and how he was attacked, and
Mhm.
before all his allegations, because that was before all his allegations popped out.
Right.
So when the black community got upset with him, a lot of them were non-forgiving, and they
They were.
celebrated when he was found out about his past
Mhm.
exploits.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
fast forward to today, I'm a little disappointed in the news that's going around about Deion Sanders. For those who don't know,
Deion,
Deion
prime time.
Sanders, prime time, Neon Deion. He has been the coach of Jackson State University for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
He has miraculously turned that team around.
Yeah.
And he's gone the last 2 seasons undefeated and won them 2 championships.
That's what's up.
HBCU.
HBCU.
Mm.
And we
Hashtag.
all we all know about the struggles of HBCU.
Right.
That they don't have a lot of money.
Right.
They're always doing fundraisers and that type deals, pour
Mhm.
into it, people give back so that we can keep the proud HBCU strong and all that, this, that, and the other. But a lot of empty promises were given to Deion from that HBCU, and they were not fulfilled. So Deion has a chance to move on and go to Colorado, which is a
Mhm.
non-HBCU school. And
Nine as they get.
he is getting roasted
Right.
in the black community for leaving Jackson State University.
Wow.
That's
Roasted.
terrible, man. Yes, he's been talked about.
So
Called
no
Uncle
gratitude.
Tom. No, it's like everything that he has accomplished and done for
Mm.
that school is non and void. And that's that whole thing there where and Deion is trying to be cool about it. He don't want to air the business about why he's leaving. But
Mhm.
he's starting to leak the people around him are starting to leak some things out because he doesn't want to really talk about it all. They've been stealing from him. I'm talking about physically. They're breaking his office.
Oh
He's
man.
had stuff come up missing
Wow.
from his office. People break into his vehicle on campus on a regular. They have
Damn.
promised him, bonuses if ticket sales go to a certain amount. They've never come through, and he's selling out the
Mhm.
stands.
I heard he was selling out all the
Um,
time. Sold
Yep.
out games every game.
Salary wise, he's been working for the last 3 years for $500,000. We know easily at some of these
Yeah.
major schools, like Nick Saban is getting 9.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
This man has been faithful and done all that he did for $500,000. And of that $500,000, he has built a new locker room, a new
Wow.
workout facility.
With his
He has
money.
took with his money to
Mm.
enhance the school to the next level. But for some strange reason, our community, our people are
Mm.
frying him because he has an opportunity to go on to something different.
More
Are they,
feel like
deserving.
he's-
are they sending any money to recompense him for the money he put out? Those complainers,
No.
those haters. Oh, okay.
No.
Mm.
They
No.
paying any of his bills?
No,
Right.
No. Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Then he ain't got no. He's not beholden to them.
Right.
All he got to worry about is his family and himself. If
That's
the
it.
school is not going to do what they said they were supposed to do, psh, deuces.
So should he stay? So he shouldn't stay there just because he's a good face and he's bringing a good
Mm-mm.
name to a HBCU.
No,
Man, you got we've been talking about it all day, man. You got to value yourself. You got to
value yourself.
you've got to appreciate what you bring to the table. You've got to know, your worth. And
Yeah.
right now, it sounds like the HBCU unfortunately is not recognizing his worth and his value. They're taking advantage of it. And
Yeah.
so after 3
And business is
years,
business. If you
yeah,
made
after
him
3
that
years,
promise,
yeah. If you're not
Yeah.
gonna follow through, let me go somewhere with people that's gonna follow through.
right? You got to do good business.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
So yeah. So I just want to say that, just looking
Yeah.
out for bro Dion, former 49er. That's my
mhm.
team. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all we
Man,
got.
I'd like him to stay at the HBCU, but if you got to go to Colorado, go to Colorado.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
I just I
If
don't
they're
know.
gonna celebrate you, I said it earlier. Go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it.
Go.
That's
Oh
it.
man. That's it right there. That's
I
Yeah.
know
it right there.
Colorado's a stretch, but ain't nobody else got no money for him somewhere else mixed in
Right.
between. Nobody.
Hey,
That's it.
They got
he
it.
said that he is not a promoter of just black men. He's a promoter of young men, young women, people all together.
Yeah,
So
he awful close to. I ain't gonna say it. Never mind.
don't say it. Don't
Mm-mm.
say it. Don't say it. But all right, fellas. I just wanted to shut it down with that. So great conversation. Great seeing y'all faces again. Thank you for
Yeah.
everybody that stayed on with us and the comments that you threw out there.
We appreciate you, all of you, all of you.
We do. We do.
We appreciate Michelle for that wisdom nugget. Thank you.
And what
Thank
was that
you.
wisdom nugget again, husband of Michelle?
The wisdom nugget is, and I'll just do the best I can to
Oh
recreate the
no,
spirit of what
no,
she
you
said.
can't just do the best that you can. You got to bring it.
She
Man.
said, "You cannot pour from an empty cup."
Nice. I like
You
that
can't do
display
it.
there. I
Yeah.
wouldn't
Can't
expect
do
that
it.
to be there.
Can't do
That's
it.
good. That's good. All right, bros. I appreciate that wisdom nugget. Y'all have a safe week. We'll see you next Sunday as we
Next
talk
Sunday,
about
same
the
place, same
greatest
time.
gift. Same back place,
Hmm.
same back channel.
And bring your Christmas stories with you, because we're gonna share some Christmas stories too.
We are?
Oh yeah. I
Okay.
don't have no Christmas sweater. Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
No, and I'm not going out trying to find one either.
I
Thank you.
don't
There's some
either.
there's some
You go-
hideous
you-
ones
you-
out there
You can go
now.
to Walmart. Walmart got them.
The
Nope.
Goodwill has them.
Nope.
Hideous
I guess
sweaters. Hideous.
maybe you know what? The closest I'm gonna get to wearing anything ugly, Christmas wise, I'd see if I can
Oh, that's
find I don't know, a Dallas Cowboy or something, or a Piston jersey, something like that.
Oh
I
man.
don't know, but yeah. All right, fellas, y'all take it easy. Be safe.
Yes, sir. You
Love
do
the
same.
ones that you're with,
That's it.
and be blessed.
That's all you can do.
All right.
Mhm.